Okay, here we have the replacement of the display of a Sony Z2 tablet, Sony Xperia Z2 tablet. So it's quite a simple process. All we're going to do is heat up the outside of the display because it's stuck in place. Slide in the metal spatula in the screen, separate the screen, and the screen's connected on the bottom of the display. The screen connection is down here. So we're going to lift the screen from the top. Be careful of any cables that may be stuck inside. Inside here, you may have cables that are stuck to the back of the screen. So we need to be careful lifting this, making sure the cables are clear before we take it away, and then replace the new screen. So first, all we're going to do is warm up the screen. I'm going to use the hot air gun at about 150 degrees on air pressure 6. So I'm going to warm that up. And it's literally just to warm it up. We're not spending too much time on the area, so it overheats. We just want to warm it up a little bit just to loosen the double-sided tape or glue that's inside there. The new unit is a complete unit with the touch screen and the display combined. So when one breaks, you change both. Go this a couple more times and then just try and slide in the metal opening tool and see if you can get into it. To start separating it all the way around. Give that a try. So again, I'm just going to tease this into the below the screen. Obviously, not too worried about the screen because it's already broken. Just slide it along. And use these little guitar picks just to, once you've got an opening, just to slide it in there so it keeps it open for the rest of it. We're just going to apply a bit more heat. try now. You don't want to put the tool in too far either, because there could be other cables and connectors just inside. So just put the tool enough to separate it from the sides, just enough. There are some other cables, as I say, there are some other cables inside. Okay, so that's coming off quite nicely. And just pop that in there just to separate it. I'll apply a bit more heat on this other side. Right, we'll give that a try. This one is already broken all the way across, so little slivers of glass are going to be coming off during the process, so be careful that something doesn't flick up and hit you in the face or in the eye as you're separating it. You can slide the guitar pick across just to make sure it's all clear. Okay, I'm going to take this off because it's all broken. Allows me to get underneath there now so I can separate the glass. So this is all broken here, so I'm just going to separate it with the glass, and then we'll worry about cleaning it off afterwards and clean all the glass off the outside of the case. Got a bit more heat along here, along the bottom, on the side. As we put a bit of pressure on the screen, lifting the screen, the glue or the tape should soften, allowing it to lift slightly. Should do now. Just need to lift it up and just see if there's anything which is connected or stuck to the back of the screen, so we don't, when we lift the screen up, we don't end up breaking the cables, the ribbons. That's it, just clearing this back a bit down the side here where the glass is all broken. I'll just help it lift up from the bottom so we can separate the connector that connects the display. That's pretty much there now. A little look inside just to see if there's anything which is touching, anything which should be lifting. You can see down this one side here, there's just something which is, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's just something there which is lifting, which I've just freed. Let me just slide down here carefully. What I need to do is add plenty more heat to the bottom of the screen. It's a lot simpler when the screen isn't as broken as this is. If the screen's just cracked, then chances are it'll come off in one piece and be a lot simpler. But as this is shattered across the whole display and the sides are all smashed and damaged, then obviously it's coming off in little pieces opposed to one solid piece. The main thing is make sure you don't cut yourself whilst removing the glass. I feel that loosening off now. There's a bit more give in the screen as the tape or the glue is softening. So one more pass and then you'll try and get the screen off. That should do. Right, so nothing's touching on the back here. So we've got one bit that seems to be a bit stuck here, so we're going to free that off. And then just get under the bottom and give that a little bit of a loosen that off. Should be pretty much there now. Should be free pretty much all the way around. Fold it up now. Completely shattered. Right, so that's up. So all we're going to do now is we have the screen that's connected here, just here. So what we do is lift the little door on the screen fastener. That's it, slide that out. And then remove the display. Obviously now we've got a lot of tape that's left over and bits of glass and all sorts of things to clean before we can re-stick down the new display. So what we'll do now is I'm just going to go around here with some alcohol and this opening tool and clean the whole area, and then lay down some double-sided tape in order to fix the new display. What we'll do is I'll just put it on pause now because it might take a little while. Right, here we are back again. So we've been around and cleaned the whole extreme of the case around here where the screen's going to stick down, taking out all the adhesive, the tape, bits of glass and whatever else. And I've also laid down the double-sided tape to fix a new display. As I was mentioned earlier about being careful when you take off the screen, whether you'll be able to appreciate it through the camera, but here there's a very small little connector here with a little flex cable which sometimes gets caught at the back of the screen, so when you tear off the screen there's a chance you could tear this connector. So there's another reason also why you don't want to be sliding the knife in too far, the opening tool in too far, that you don't end up catching that and cutting that, as well as any of the other pieces of cable that could be snagged on the back of the screen. So what we're going to do now is, before we take off the tape and stick it down, we're going to put in the new screen and just test that everything's okay. So it literally just slides into here, into the connector. And just push the little door down, and then we just power it up. You see in the screen like the bubbles and whatever on the screen. That's just because it's got a plastic film to protect the front of the glass. So we just go in and just make sure that the general movement and functions are all okay. It's responding, and then we know that it's fine. It's not been damaged in transit, and it's good to go to fix it down. There we go. So we'll just power that off now. Carefully lift and release the connector. The flex cable, and then we can remove the double-sided tape, the top of the double-sided tape. You possibly could also use glue for the fixing of the display. Sometimes I tend to use glue, sometimes I use a double-sided tape. As we've got a nice thick border and plenty of place for the tape to go down, then I'm using tape. If the border was a lot thinner and a lot harder to get a good amount of tape down, then I'd be using glue. Okay. That's all of the tape off. So all we need to do now is take the new display, carefully connect the cable. Make sure it's firmly pushed in far enough. Shut the little door. And then position it in the case. That's it. A little push down for it to make contact with the tape. That's one advantage of using the tape over the glue, that you put it down, that's it, job done, opposed to waiting for the glue to cure. Or having to put pressure on the screen to make contact. Okay. Okay, so just pop it on there, just test that all is okay. Okay, that seems to be fine. Okay, job done. Thanks, and see you next time.